welcome back to the Red Ones Go Fast. Old Big Mek here. That's right, it's me birthday, and I'm hanging out with all of you gets. Yeah, all right, guys. So, hey, Keith, Bubba, you guys have been waiting up for me. Thanks, guys. Thank you. It's been Nurgle has been winning in my family, and it's not been fun. Mrs. Old Big Mek has been sick for well over a week now straight, and two of the grots were down, and then today a third grot went down. So 75% of my grots are turning into Nurglings, and yeah, so all the plans are canceled. Ain't nothing going on, nobody here, nothing. And it's like, you know what? I can go hang out with all of my friends over on YouTube. So here we are, having having a good one. Now he's an old big, yeah. I'm old Big Mek. Yeah, don't watch the Big Mek yesterday. He's not that old. Hey guys, hey TV, hey Kevin, the Sad Master. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, I am older and deeper into the 40s. Yay. Anyways, I got something cool to show you guys. I've got a video that is actually uploaded. Those of you that are channel members or Patreon saw me do my intro outros. So trying to throw a little extra fun out there for you guys deciding to support me that way. But the actual video, I'll probably drop it for tomorrow. But what it is I have upgraded my lighting finally. Check that out. I've been talking about that since I got that dang thing. So it's a cabinet. It's an IKEA cabinet that I store a bunch of things in. I got some combat patrols and stuff up there. But I always wanted to put a light bar underneath it down at the desk. And I finally went to IKEA today, got all the pieces, do it, figured it all out, and I did a whole video on it. It was actually really easy and not that expensive and kind of cool. So if you guys are looking for some lighting solutions, you'll definitely want to check that video out. Like I said, I'll probably do that one tomorrow just because after the live stream, I'm going to order some wings and yeah, go kick some people's butts on Mario Kart. I don't know. We'll call it a night. Hey, Calvin. Hey, Joseph. Old Big Mek is 1 year older, 1 year bigger. Definitely 1 year bigger. You know, the joke was when COVID came out, COVID-19 was the 19 pounds you added on. Well, I added on the COVID-19, the COVID-20, the COVID-21. You get the drift. Yeah. So yeah, 1 year bigger. Definitely 1 year meckier. I was mecking that up. I got tools laying around here everywhere still. Yeah. So yeah, that was a lot of fun to get hooked up. And then the other cool thing about that, I don't know if you guys can notice, you can actually see my face because normally my lighting looks like this. Not the greatest. So now I've been able to actually put a YouTuber light, streaming light. I don't even know what these things are. I'm way too old to do this kind of thing, but there we go. I got a light shining on me now. I got the light in the background now. And if I turn off the spotlights, it should look kind of cool back there. Let's take a look. Check that out. So that's only that light. And then obviously the display case. But yeah, none of the the YouTuber lights on. Hold on. That's not bad, right? I can paint over there now in the middle of the night. It's 5:24 and it's completely dark outside. But yeah, I can actually paint again. So I'm definitely pretty darn happy with that that upgrade to the old Mek shop. Yeah. Calvin born in 58. All right. Calvin. you could be the oldest Big Mek. Well, I don't know, older Big Mek. Uncle Buck, John, Calvin, thank you. Keith, hey, what's up? Thank you. Much appreciated. So yeah, do a little hobby live stream. I wanted to flesh out this giveaway thing more with you guys. I got a lot of really great response from that. Really, like, thank you so much. Had like 3 more people sign up on Patreon already, which is like super rad. What I want to do is I had a bunch of people say, it'd be cool to just even get one thing from you. And some people were going, hey, like, you're going to do anything that's painted and whatnot. I was like, that's a good idea. I actually do have quite a few things that I've painted that, like, maybe I was going to repaint or something, or things that, like, I'm halfway through with, but like kind of lost interest. But it was like, okay, maybe what I'll do is I'll finish the paint jobs on all those, and there'll be like, maybe 10 boys, or 10 models, that are painted, that I can give out as prizes, or like maybe do a squad to one person or something like that. But here's my thoughts. All right, let me know if you think this is cool or not. I'm thinking about like a couple of jars, right? And then each prize on the jar, and every entry you do, you get to choose what jar it goes in, right? So if there's something that you want more than anything else, you can put all your things in that. If you want to spread it out, you spread it out. And so then when we do the live stream draw, we draw from each jar for each prize. And then at the end, all the little prizes, we put all of them into the big bucket, mix it all up, and then from the big bucket wins the big army. What do you guys think about that? Does that actually sound cool? Would that entice you to participate? Oh, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're thinking. Calvin, you're still young. Yeah, God, what's that song go? I'm old but not that old, young but not that bold. I'm right about there. It's funny to think I've been out of the military for well over 20 years. I've been out of the military long enough that if I had a baby the day I got out, that baby could drink now. So should give you a little bit of an idea. It's not old yet, but yeah, we're solidly in that midlife crisis zone, which is why I am now, as the Grots like to say, a world famous YouTuber to all of their friends at elementary and middle school who have no idea who I am because nobody knows Warhammer at that age. But it's a lot of fun. Uh, Calvin said, "Awesome idea." Okay, like yeah, I'm just looking for some feedback here. Old Big Mac likes to make you guys happy. It was like that with the decals. It was fun to design them, but you put in hours and hours and hours and hours designing these dang decals, and it was like, why only give them away to two people? Like I could print a whole bunch of them and send a whole bunch of them out. Which I see some of you have finally started to actually get them, which is really really rad. The next step is the international ones. International guys, I got to do these hard envelopes to get them out there, because not every country will accept regular envelopes. So yeah, that's the next step is all the international ones. I got to actually go to the post office for that, and they've been like closed and holidays and all that jazz. But yeah, next week all the international ones are going out, and then that's gonna be that. So I still have a bunch of you I haven't heard from yet. So I'll do a last call on Discord, for anybody that wanted those. And we'll get them out there. But yeah, and then a whole bunch of you, I had a bunch of extras, so I threw in extras for a whole bunch of people because it's fun to get extras, right? Yeah. So, anyways, I want to do the same thing for the giveaway. I want the giveaway to be fun. I want it to be inclusive. I want people to be excited about it. Like it, if you win or you get it, like it should be something that you really want. It should be a lot of fun. Yeah, so that's my birthday gift to you, my New Year's gift to you, because New Year, more orcs. Wandering Cedar, it's your daughter's birthday as well. Whoa, happy birthday! Happy birthday to Wandering Cedar's daughter. That is still super, super rad. Fun to share a birthday with somebody. Uncle Buck, I feel like I'm too old to rock and roll, but too young to die. You're never too old to rock and roll. You were never, never, never too old to rock and roll. I didn't pick up a guitar until 2020. It was 5 years ago that I finally picked up a guitar for the first time. I've wanted to play my entire life. Still not very good at it, but I've got a local musician that I follow. His name is Tony Smiley. If you're up here in the Pacific Northwest, I'll take you to one of his shows. He's amazing. And he just turned 50, and he absolutely rocks a live show multiple times a week. This dude slays on the guitar. So you're never too old to rock and roll. I mean, come on, Mick Jagger's still doing it, and Slash and those guys, Gene Simmons. I mean, they're all like they're in their 70s, man, and they're still doing it. So yeah, you can always rock on. That's one of the few things keeping me young. Calvin thinks the jar thing is great. Okay, cool, cool. Okay, so if the jar thing is cool, would you guys want like a chance to win like a single thing painted by me or like a squad painted by me? Like which one is cooler, or maybe both? Like maybe it's like a squad of boys or a single character. Because again, we'll have multiple jars, right? So you'd be like, oh, okay, well, I'll put one entry in single character, one entry in a squad, one entry in. I keep calling it flat pack. I can't come up with a different idea, but all the cool vintage stuff that we show off. I've got some things that are duplicate that I've got more than one of, like a pretty decent amount. And it was like, oh man, I could put like all that together, maybe like a vintage codex or something like that. Put it all together, make a pretty cool thing. It would also be a lot easier to mail international, so the international guys maybe could win the flat pack thing and the codex. I don't know. What do you think about that? And then yeah, is vintage stuff cool? Like, do you guys want to win like second edition metal models? Like, is that cool, or would you rather have like newer stuff? Like, what's everyone's jam, or should I do a mix? A mix could be cool. The Jar Jar draws. Darth Jar Jar, man. That will always be my headcanon. He is Darth Jar Jar. That's the only way that thing works. Ready to pull T for decals with kill marks. Calvin kill. So okay, now kill marks like that are just the hashes you can paint on, right? But when you say kill marks, so like the silhouettes on like World War II fighter planes, were like, if you shut down a fighter, they paint a fighter. You shut down a bomber, they paint a bomber. You want something like that, but like it's like a Lehman Russ and I don't know, an Imperial Knight or something like that. Like, is that what you're thinking when you say kill marks? But obviously not like just the silhouette of a Lumen Ross. It's got to be like the way Grot would paint it, right? Right. Like it's recognizable enough to be a Lehman Russ or a Predator or whatever, but it's clearly painted by an orc. Like, is that what you're saying when you say kill marks? Because that would be a really rad idea, and that would be a super cool like next decal sheet to do. Yeah, let me know what you think on the kill marks, guys. That'd be cool. I'm willing to do the artwork on that. Willing to do the artwork on that. Keith, not a lot of guys knows about Warhammer at my age, and I am old. Warhammer is one of those funny things that it's worldwide, right? It's really, really, really huge in the UK and in Europe. It's got quite a big following in Australia and Oceania areas, and in North America, like back in the day, it was kind of small. Like there were a lot of people into BattleTech. There were a lot of people into the CCGs. The original Decipher Star Wars game, the original OG Lord of the Rings game. Um, Obviously Magic the Gathering and all that stuff, right? Like those are all the big things. And then tabletop, you had like historical minis, and like BattleTech was about the only thing. And then Warhammer started to pick up steam, but it was very regional. Like where I was back in Florida, it wasn't that popular, but I'd go to visit family up in Maryland, and obviously Maryland was where Games Workshop's U.S. headquarters was back in the day, and it was everywhere there, absolutely everywhere. So like if you were in the Northeast, it was a lot bigger. But I also think it's got to do with like having a winter. Down in Florida, you don't have a winter. It is just 100 degrees and sweaty squig all year round. So there is no like indoor hobby thing going on. Whereas up in the Northeast where it snows all winter and you're stuck inside, that's where like slot cars were big and model car building and Warhammer and stuff like that. And the same thing's true up here in the Pacific Northwest where I moved to. We actually have seasons. We have the big dark where it's like raining and gross out all winter long. And so there are indoor hobbies. And so the Warhammer scene up here is way bigger than it was down in Florida. So yeah, like I think there's definitely some like regional things and then also like season related. So yeah. Yeah. Jay, happy birthday. Thank you, buddy. Uncle Buck, Silverdale, Silverdale. I've been to Silverdale. Silverdale's fun. So Uncle Buck, if you ever come down to Vancouver, hit Old Big Mek up and we'll meet up for a swig beer, my man. I'm always willing to meet people in person. Ran into quite a few of you at the Tacoma Open and things like that. And yeah, anytime I go traveling, so like when I do go back to Florida to visit family or whatever, like I will definitely be posting about it. And any of you guys that are down there, we'll get together. We'll have a meetup and a hangout. So Joseph, not me with 3 copies of the Dominion Oryx. We don't talk about Dominion. Even Games Workshop doesn't talk about Dominion. That box being less than $100 for over a year was absolutely insanity. They way overproduced that one. And I think if they had just had literally any other army opposite the Stormcast, it would have sold out. Those Oryx are just if they're your thing, they're your thing. Like I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum, but on the broader terms, like of all the Age of Sigmar armies, they're pretty much not like they're the bottom, right? They are the uncoolest. And then like orc players don't really like them. I think they got like a lot of Lord of the Rings aesthetic going on, which if you're into it, it's cool. But if you're not into it, like there's nothing else neat about them. And I think that's what kind of killed that box. Which obviously, I mean, Skaven Time sold out like that. Keith, everything orcs is good. Okay, so as long as I'm giving away orcs, you're good. Because that was the other thing I was thinking about is obviously we are very, very, very orc centric on this channel, which is a whole lot of fun. But not everybody that watches this channel is into orcs. I mean, we've got a super, super, super long time viewer and supporter that is like solely into Necrons. but he watches because we're fun, you know. So it's like, you know, and obviously I play other armies, right? We talk about Ashton Militarum and that Venn diagram of every like 4 out of 5 orc players is also an Imperial Guard player. Who knows? You know, it's probably closer to 5 out of 5 now with that brutal and cunning box, man. Those little rattling snipers, you just put a grot head on them, and they are so perfect. I want that box so bad, and I can't. I got I got things piling up here to sell. Hopefully, quick enough to be able to afford that box before it disappears into oblivion. I was gonna wait for the Breaker Boys to come out on their own, but seeing everybody's grot rattling kill teams, I really want them now. I really want them. TB paint kill marks are really cool. Okay, if that's what you guys want, we can talk about it on the Discord too. Flesh out some ideas, just like we did with these decals. I could post up some artwork, and you guys can let me know like, is it looking good, or like which direction to go with it. But yeah, some kill markings, because that would be, because the decal sheets we've done now, right? Like they're not small, but like they're not big either. They're not like the ginormous decal sheets that Games Workshop does. But yeah, we could print like a ginormous one where you buy like one decal sheet and it's got enough kill markings for your whole army for the rest of your life. That'd be kind of sick, actually. Uncle Buck, don't forget Car Wars. Yeah, Car Wars was a thing, which now, what is it now? There's like a different version of that now where, yeah, you like use the Hot Wheel cars and you convert them up and you do like Wasteland, whatever. It's Interstate 76, but on the tabletop. It's a lot of fun. Decal like you would see on an 88 millimeter shield, but done by orcs. Calvin, okay, I think we're saying the same thing. Yeah. So what kind of units do you want to see on the kills? Like just vehicles, or do you want to see troops too? And like, I mean, we could do like all the factions, right? You could do like the Necron monolith would be really cool as a kill marking. Um, yeah, Land Raider. You could do a Chaos Land Raider too, with spikes on it. That'd be fun. You do the flyers. All the flyers would be cool too, because then you could also put them on the side of your flyers. Oh, I'm really liking this idea. This is good. It's because another here's the thing Old Big Mek would do, right? You're in the middle of a game, you blow up your enemy's big, impressive whatever, and you immediately stick the kill marking on. You have to do it as a sticker instead of a decal for that, but that would be hilarious, right? Like you're out there battling, and yeah, like I don't know, the your Blitzabama, right, completely destroys an Imperial Knight, and you're like right on the side of it. That that would be pretty dang cool. That I'm digging that. They have these they have this special kind of decal. It's called heat. It's not heat sensitive. It's heat something. They're the decals that I get for the little slot cars. Which if you watch my other channel, you've seen me do the slot car stuff. But the decal it is a sticker back, but when you put it on what you're putting it on, it doesn't look like a sticker, right? It looks more like something that was painted on or printed on, or even decaled on. I wonder what it would take to make those, or how much those cost, or anything like that. That could be fun, because then you'd have that option. You'd have that ability to like literally peel off the little kill marking and stick it right on. That'd be That'd be sick. That'd be real sick. Ah, all right. Catch back up. Kevin, you could do a squad, a character, and a vehicle jar. Ooh, a vehicle jar. I like that. Do I? You know what? Because we got options for vehicle jar. Okay, I got the T-shirt cannon, uh, custom booster blaster, right? That we're painting up to be red squig, to look like the Red Bull cars. We can give that one away. Or I could do Eluded Lehman Russ. Which one would you guys rather win? Or something different? I mean, I do have some unbuilt vehicles around here, and I got some sources of getting other vehicles. Or if we wanted to be really crazy on a giveaway, but let me know on these. Would you guys like to win these? The really crazy was the Every Kit is an Orc kit, the Chinork. That would be like a pretty epic prize. Let me know what you think. Throw it down in the comments. All right, Uncle Buck, you betcha. All right, dude, we're in. Let me know anytime, brother. Anytime. That'd be cool. Save Master, you're in Florida. Warhammer does have somewhat of a scene, just depends on where you are. Yeah, I don't know what it's like now. It's been 30 years since I've like lived there. But yeah, back in the 90s, it was Orlando had a decent scene. There was a good shop in Melbourne that had like Rogue Trader tournaments all the time. But like more up the Space Coast area, Daytona and stuff, it was a lot quieter. We had to travel to like go do things. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was scenes. There were like friendly local game stores, and there were like school clubs and stuff. But like compared to up here, or compared to like I said, Maryland back in the day, up here, our local crew that's just right here in this town has got 50 plus people in it, and you go right across the river to Portland, Oregon, and there's 1,000 people in their club. There's multiple clubs and multiple stores, and there's multiple GW corporate stores. And I mean, it's just a lot more saturated up here than it was down there. So yeah, I don't know. Keith, well, in truth, I'm working on a rattling sniper as a small orc break. There's always time, Keith. There's always time to glue a grot head on instead. Always time. In fact, that's part of my Imperial Guard armies. Every time I look at like, okay, I'm going to start splitting it up and do everything I talked about in the video, and it was like, oh, but this vehicle would be really good in my orc army. And I end up like I'm nicking it like a dang death skull, man. Like I'm just trying to steal everything from my orc army. It's crazy. Calvin, yes, I have 4 planes and looted tanks that Sony decals. I'm in it, brother. I'm in it. I love the idea. We're absolutely doing that for sure. We can even do both, right? Like I can do it as a decal sheet and as the stickers. If I could figure out the stickers or like what it takes to get those printed, that'd be kind of cool. Bullet hole stencils would be cool. Bullet hole stencils would be cool. They're so on bullet holes, top trick. In fact, you know what? We could do it. We can do it live. Let me grab my tools. Let me grab my tools. Let's see. Where is the pen vise? And it's plastic. All right, check it out. If you guys want to do realistic bullet holes in your models, like painting them is one thing, but doing them 3D makes them way, way more real. What you want is a pin vise. A pin vise is like a little miniature screwdriver looking thing. It's got a knurled handle that spins, and that's so that you can hold this and spin that part. And then it's got a little chuck on it, just like a drill, and you can get all sorts of different size bits for these. Now you can get really, really, really cheap ones. They suck. You can get really, really expensive ones. You don't need to get something mid-range, something like 10 to the $25 range for the actual pin vise itself, and then same thing, like get a quality bit. You'll have a much better time with it. But this is what you want. And then on your plastic models, what you can do is use it to drill bullet holes. Now, one thing people do that is wrong is they always 90-degree everything, and that's not right. Like if you're shooting at a tank, you're not shooting at it from directly above, right? That looks fake as heck. And also, if you're shooting at it, you're not going to have one bullet go in this direction and one bullet go in this direction. That doesn't make any sense. So you want it to be all the same direction, and don't try to like come at it straight from the front. Like having a bit of an angle is a lot more realistic. Like how often are you ever looking directly straight on something, right? So choose an angle, stick with that angle, and then drill your holes. And what you want to do is you line it up on what you're doing, and then you use your finger here to press down, and that's what holds it in place. And then you spin with these fingers, and that's what makes the bullet hole. Now, the shallower the hole, the harder it is to drill. The steeper the hole, the easier it is to drill. What I recommend is kind of ignoring a lot of the top stuff and just going for kind of frontal armor. So yeah, so we'll go in like this. And again, I'm not coming straight in. I'm going to come in at an angle. So I'm going to come in at my angle. I set that, and then you want to spin and drill. And you don't have to go deep. You don't got to go all the way in. You've got to make it an actual hole. What you want to do is gouge out some of the plastic. You can see we're getting some plastic out of there. And then you don't want to wipe it necessarily all off. You want to leave a little bit of the jaggedness. All right. And there is a bullet hole. All right, let me grab something else. Be right back. Sorry about that. Went looking for me knife because we were using this all holidays long to open all the boxes and stuff, and they actually put it away where it belongs. Anyways, so if you want a clean bullet hole from like a small caliber rifle, not a lasgun obviously because they're lasers, but yeah, like the little pew pew guns that like Gene Stealer Colts have and things like that, you leave it like that. Now, if you want a bigger shell or something more explosive, then you take your hobby knife. Again, you're going to go in the same direction. Okay, start with the pin vise first. Like, don't just go straight to this. Start with the pin vise first, but you go the same direction in there, and then you're going to spin it back and forth like this, a little kind of slightly jaggedy, and that's going to give you an even bigger and better hole. And notice how it raises the edges around the outside of the impact, especially the direction of impact. So I know it's really hard to see like on a live stream camera. I'll post photos on Discord and stuff. We'll do a whole thing on this. But yeah, the direction of impact. So where it came in, which is to this side. Okay, notice how it's kind of cleaner. And then toward this side, you can see the white of the plastic. That's where it's reflecting the light because it's been pushed up. So that's how you make realistic 3D bullet holes. And then when you paint it, what you would do is you would paint a little bit of like gunmetal in there. You want darkened metal and kind of paint a little bit of a blast mark around it. I have a cheat code for this. My cheat code is you don't do any of the damage until the model is done, all painted and done. Then you drill these holes. Yes, I know it messes up the paint job. It's more realistic that way. And then you weather it with weathering powders. That'd be these things right here, which I talk about all the stinking time. This is Grim Dark in a box. These are amazing. Specifically, this one right here, the soot, right there in the middle. You put the soot powder right on that, and it looks amazing. And the thing that really, really sells the effect is being 3D like that. I'll show you right here on this. Kind of go the direction of the blast. But being 3D like that, it picks up the weathering pigment all the way around the outside of the hole, but not necessarily right in the middle, which is very realistic to actual impact craters. So what you do is you would paint a little bit of silver or gunmetal or whatever in there, right in the impact hole, and then you would rub the soot on the outside and then a little bit up like that. It makes super, super, super realistic damage that just looks totally 100%. This is a tip from scale modelers. So the guys that build like tanks and things like that and go to like IPMS shows, when they do battle damage, this is how they do it. And it looks amazing. So yeah, pin vise, get your X-Acto knife for the bigger things, and then weathering powder. I just love how all that stuff just like right there to show. Aaron, happy birthday. Thanks, my man. Calvin, I'm drilling all my bullets now. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it looks so good. It is so, so, so good. And it's one of those things that, it's such a small hole. You're like, oh, you're really going to see that. But when you have it on the tabletop, especially if you've got like, I like doing like a couple in a row of the smaller caliber ones to show like, something coming across the side, looks pretty good. And then the other thing is with those big ones, like having the big ones, and then like if you could tell a story with it, like how we were doing the top of that Chimera piece there, you could have it where it's like ricocheted up and then like come off, like pinged off the turret then, and there's like a secondary impact is a whole lot of fun. So you have like kind of a bigger one in the front and then like a smaller one where it's pinged off. You can, if you really want to fragment it, you lay the knife down kind of flatter, and as you go around the circle, the blade will actually skip, and as it skips, it cuts gouges in that looks really, really rad. We could do a whole video just on bullet holes and making battle damage that's super realistic. But it looks great down on the tabletop because it actually draws your eye to it being 3D like that. And yeah, like people really dig it when you've got that kind of battle damage. Uncle Buck, any and all. All right, cool. Hey, War Boss Dan, nice to see you, man. Looted Lehman Russ on your pick. All right, we can do it. Yeah, okay. All right. Done deal. That Lehman Russ is going to become a looted Lehman Russ that'll be completely painted by Old Big Mek. That'll be one of the official prizes for the giveaway. Done. All right, paint scheme. Obviously, it's already dark green. It's already Imperial Guard. We got to orc it up. Where the red ones go faster, so we got to put some red paint on it. We thinking like red flames on it, red camo. What are you guys thinking? That'd be cool. Shoot it with a 22, be more of a cannon, I suppose. I mean, if you built like a Titan, like a Forgeable Titan or something, but if you shot it with 22, the resin would just shatter, it would explode everywhere. Just get a bigger drill bit. I mean, you could go all the way up to using drill bits and your actual screw guns to get the really really big stuff. I have found that so your standard X-Acto knife blade, it's called a number 11. That's the size it is. You can get bigger size blades. Just getting a bigger size blade and gouging out a bigger hole totally looks accurate. I mean, you can get up to like, Lehman Russ main battle cannon shell size and have it look right. I think anything bigger than that is going to cause so much damage to whatever you're shooting that it would just completely trash it anyway. That's the other thing you got to be careful of. Like, okay, you've got a rhino, right, or an orc truck or whatever, and you put this ginormous hole in it, and it's like in reality that would have completely decimated that thing. It would just be scrap all over the ground. Like, how is that possible to survive that? So you want to like keep it within the realm of believability, like of oh man, like it totally took a hit, but it took that hit, not holy cow, like did a Titan blow up this truck? How is it still running? Which I mean can be funny, but if you want it to be more accurate, that'd be the way. Zach, happy birthday! Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the birthday wishes. It's been it's been a ride, but I'm making the best of it. I'm again really happy with my hobby light solution. I'm stoked at that. It's been so good, and now having the actual light here, this is cool too because I can adjust. Right? Way too bright. Yeah. So I like that I can adjust, and I like that I can adjust the coloring too. So there's like the dramatic light, and then there's the like really cool light, and then there's the actual neutral light. So yeah, I really feel like I'm leveling up the channel game here. Chris K. Wicked. Nice, man. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I see the little star there. I know that we got some patrons and we got some channel members. I know that there's a lot of people that don't mind Patreon and do that kind of thing. And I know that there's a lot of people that they don't want to deal with it and they just do the YouTube memberships. What I did, in fact, I did it right before this live stream, is I had a little extra fun thing. I filmed like 5 or 6 different intros for the video that I did, which I often do. I often come up with a bunch of different funny intros and then like pull the grots and figure out which one is funniest to put on YouTube. And so I strung them all together and I put up an exclusive video. And what I did is I posted the Patreon direct to Patreon so all the patrons could see it. And I took the exact same video and I posted it on the channel for channel members only. So it doesn't matter which way you support, you're still going to see the same exclusive extra content. So that's how we're doing that right there. So it should have worked. It should have worked. But yeah, that was gonna be fun. Calvin, got to trust the powders, dude. You do. I'm telling you, the weathering powders are the secret to why my army and my paint jobs look so good. That Def Dread that I did for Tacoma Open for the painting competition, like knocked it out of the park because of those weathering powders. Like getting techniques and getting tips from other hobbies to bring back to Warhammer is amazing. I mean, you see all the other YouTubers out there just now discovering Gundam, and they're like, "Oh, we could do panel lining like Gundam." Well, it's like, yeah, there's a zillion other hobbies out there. Like, go to an IPMS competition and talk to people that have literally 200 variations of, olive, drab, green, and how they make their big tank models actually look realistic with all these different shades. And they do things like dot filtering, which is where you put like these really random color splotches into the paint, like literally like bright yellow, bright red, things like that. And then you use like turpentine wash to like scrub it in, and it provides variations on the panels that like you don't see the yellow when you're done, but it definitely like tints and tones, all sorts of really cool stuff like that. So like watching hobby content on other kinds of hobbies to get painting ideas is like super, super, super cool. Keith, done the drilled bullet holes before. I just thought it'd be a great add to the kill marker stencils, but good technique use. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we could still do some decals of it. I don't know how good they'd look being, 2D print of a 3D thing, but, I mean, throw them on there and see how it goes. You can always do a test run decal, put it on the actual model, get some feedback on that before we do like final printing runs. But yeah, I love the like kill count ideas. Having the silhouettes would be really really cool. And of course, we're gonna do orc things too, because orcs are gonna fight other orcs. So we can do like orc truck and a battle wagon and a deck of jet. That'd be fun. Melta, Uncle Buck, Melta with a heated paper lip. Ooh, Melta. Okay, so that is a good point on like if you wanted to do Melta or plasma and how that would look possibly different than like a good old fashioned solid slug. Yes, heating up something metal and inserting it into the plastic would be the way to go. Um, I'll warn you, not all plastic is equal. Games Workshop actually uses extremely excellent plastic, but if you build scale models, you'll definitely know that there's differences. AMT used to be the absolute worst. Their plastic was just hot garbage. It was, I mean, literal garbage. Like just so bad. It was like this tan color, really really brittle. If you tried to do something like that, it would like go right through it. But yeah, you could use. I wouldn't heat a paperclip. What I would do is get a soldering iron. So if any of you guys do any kind of electronic stuff and you solder wires together, you get a soldering iron. They've got a metal tip on them that's got a point, and you can. So the more you put it in, the bigger the hole will be. So if you put like just a little bit on there, it'd be like a little like a melted pistol shot or something. But the other cool thing you could do is then you could do like a glancing blow, right? You could take where's the like you could do like a glancing blow off of this, right, where you could actually like melt into the corner to make it look like the melta like came by and like kind of screwed up the armor and like kind of deformed it and stuff. But the nice thing about the Games Workshop plastic is if you do that, it's not going to warp the rest of the piece. Really bad plastic, when you do something like that, you melt it right here, this whole piece would then warp and twist from the heat of doing that. So if you are going to get into like bigger damage, like melta damage, or try to make something look like it was hit by a plasma, I would definitely recommend using a bigger piece. Definitely doing a lot of practice. Practice on sprues first before you take it to a model, because man, it's really really easy to screw up fast with that. But yeah, doing a soldering iron is the way to go on that. I've done that before actually. I did a whole back in the day. Again, back in the day, I had a bunch of Space Marines that were getting kind of older, right? They were like second edition Marines, like the guys that are like this, right, where they're like completely up on the chest. And then some third edition guys, and like my army had transitioned to all the Black Templar, right? Like that was finally when Black Templar kind of became what they are today, where they have all the robes and all the accoutrements and whatnot. And so there were a lot of units that like just didn't work with them anymore, or things, missile launchers and bolters and things like that. So I had all these extra Space Marines. I didn't really know what to do with them. And what I ended up doing is I made a Legion of the Damned out of them. And so I painted them all black with flames, and then I just battle damaged the Jesus out of them. And that was one of the things I did is I used a soldering iron for melted damage on their Rhino. So yeah, I had a I don't know, a couple of Rhinos, and Razorback, maybe a Predator. I can't remember if I ever did the Predator or not. And then yeah, like 3-4 squads of regular guys and a command squad and a couple of characters. The chaplain was the coolest. But yeah, every one of them was just, I mean, completely obliterating. His shoulder pads like slammed to snot and whatnot. One thing I did is I took, that hobby saw that I use a lot, the big serrated one. Oh, no, where'd it go? So these things, these hobby saws, you can use these to make it look like rending claws from a Tyranid. So yeah, you could get really really crazy with all of your different battle damages going on if you do that. And so I did this whole Legion of the Damned army like that with battle damage everywhere. They looked wicked cool when I was done. Then like an idiot, I went and sold them on eBay to afford the next thing, because that's how I had to work. But yeah, it'd be fun to do that again. It'd be fun to like do a pretty battle damaged up, at least even like a kill team or a single squad would be cool. Calvin, less is more. Red spots here and there with some yellow and blue panels. That way it will fit anyone's army. Oh, okay. You're talking about the paint job on that. Okay, okay. I'm down. I smell what you're cooking. I smell what you're cooking. So the same thing with the squad, not necessarily like giving it a full like paint scheme, but yeah, like we could do like brown leather, metal, green skin, but at least it's there. Maybe some like red highlights on them or something, but like leave necessarily leave areas, but like if you wanted to add to the paint job, you could, or yeah, make it look like it could really go in anybody's army. I like that. That is cunning thinking, Calvin. Thank you for that. Uncle Buck, do you remember for the Gorka Morka release, they sent bullet hole stickers to the stores? They did. They did. I don't know what you know, they weren't just stickers, they were magnets. They had magnetic bullet holes. And you could stick them to the the big black rack that all the Warhammer stuff goes on. You'd stick the magnets on the side of it to look like it got shot up. I had a set of those back in the day. One of my friendly local game stores, when they took everything down and they were all done with Gorka Morka, I was able to snag those magnets from them. I had those forever. I used to put them like on the side, the door of my car and things like that. God, I haven't seen those in forever. But yeah, they I know they had magnets too because I had them for a while. And yeah, they must have had like the static cling ones for the windows. That's gotta be. Yeah. 99 cap can get real cheap ones just about anywhere. Yeah, see, like I would think that like life size bullet hole ones you can kind of get whatever. It would be like getting them down to Warhammer size that would be interesting. Keith, you could put in more cranky details in the bullet holes without a lot more carving with the knife. Yeah, I don't know, maybe a lot of stuff like those. Legion of Mork. Ooh, Legion of Mork. Oh, that'd be fun. We can get a whole bunch of old Space Marines, make them Legion of the Damned, and then put orc heads on them. Because everything just needs orc heads. That's the way it works, right? That's the way it works. Oh, well, it's been fun. This is honestly, I needed this for me to get some laughter in and not deal with three grots turning into nerdlings and things like that. So I really appreciate all you guys hanging out with me. That's been really cool. Oh, you meant real cheap soldering irons. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You don't need, if you're using your soldering iron to do things like this, you don't want a good one because the plastic is absolutely gonna like start screwing up the tip on it. Get a super duper cheap one. Harbor Freight sells them for like $3 or something like that. Like that's all you need for your weathering one. Um, yeah, it's like literally it's like a black pen or like a Sharpie marker like size holder, and then it's got like a little ring collar on it, and then it's got the metal piece, and you just plug it into the wall. It doesn't even have like a rheostat or anything on; they're just on. But yeah, those would be perfect for that. Uncle Buck, hell yeah! How's the grots feeling better? No, Keith, unfortunately, not feeling better. Two of the grots have been sick since New Year's Eve, and we don't know what it is exactly. We did urgent care and all that kind of stuff. It not strep and not COVID. So likely like a really bad flu. Norovirus has been going around up here, but they're not having the stomach problems. They didn't eat anything weird. It's definitely like respiratory. They're getting the really bad cough and all that stuff. But yeah, negative for COVID, negative for strep, all that stuff. But yeah, got them on all the medicines. Saw the pain docs and the pain boys at urgent care and whatnot. But yeah, the third one, Bescrot went down today. Real bad. So hopefully he will be getting better real soon. But yeah, I got some sick ones. I sound much better. I sound better here and there, and then it kind of comes and goes in waves. But yeah, I'm pounding orange juice uh, emergency and tea and stuff like that like crazy, and just trying to stay away from everybody. And that's why I'm holed up here in the Big Mek bunker, and the rest of them are in the rest of the house. And yeah, it's what you got to do. But yeah, Chairman, happy birthday! Hey, thank you, much appreciated, much appreciated. Nurgle is giving gifts for Christmas. Yeah, I know, Warboss Dan. We were talking about that. Yeah, all three of your grots too, man. It's been a thing, and it's not just been us too. Like my folks got sick, and coworkers, and man, it's been a thing, man. This all this Nurgle sick can just go away. That it's messing up our plans. But yeah, I think Mrs. Big Mek is feeling a little bit better. She's been down for a solid week. It's been since last Saturday, maybe even Friday night. So yeah, it's been a rough one. But yeah, maybe we can get together enough to go at least grab some takeout or something and get some squig burgers and yeah. 99 cap, west or east coast. I've said it all the time. I'm up in the Pacific Northwest. I'm kind of just outside of the Portland, Oregon area. Um, I've done the Tacoma Open, which is up in Washington State, and then played a bunch of games down in Portland with guys. So yeah, if you guys are localish to that area in the Pacific Northwest, love to get together in person. And then yeah, I got folks kind of all over the place. So if we ever get to go travel and visit family again or anything like that, I'll definitely shout out and love to swing by a friendly local game store and say hi to people. Would be a lot of really be really cool. Like I said, I've met a few people at Tacoma Open. That was really rad. To put some faces to the names that we see on the internet is always a lot of fun. The Great Green will get us through. Yes, it will. If you guys haven't read the Gazgul Thraka book, that's what Max is alluding to there. Which again, I think I have it right here. Oh, no, I don't. One of the grass must have stolen it. Anyways, if you've got the new Gazgul book, Prophet of Dwa, it's a really, really, really good book. I wasn't sure about it. I'd heard some mixed things about it, but it's a book. I'm gonna read it. Read it myself, and it was really, really good. And it's from I don't want to like spoiler or whatnot, but like it's from the standpoint of some other works talking about Gazgul, and they talk about the Great Green. And when an orc dies, they just kind of go into the Great Green, and then they come back. And the way that they explored all of that was really intriguing and really cool, but still like very, very, very orky. And yeah, fantastic read. If you haven't read that one, highly, highly, highly recommended. It's a different book than like Brutal Conan and Dagabo's Revenges and those kind of things. Like those are all action books. This one is a bit more storytelling than action, a bit more lore, but it is really deep, really, really cool. So highly recommend that one as well. Cap Oakville barely left Oklahoma, so don't know where anywhere is. Man, I get it. I mean, the only way I got to travel and see the world was joining the Coast Guard and got to literally go all over the place in foreign countries and all sorts of things. So, but wouldn't recommend it. 0 out of 10. Nobody should join the military, at least in the United States. But yeah, if you guys can travel around, you should definitely travel around. Traveling is fun. Seeing other people is fun. Going to big events is fun. Those opens, man, I had so much fun at Tacoma Open. I cannot wait to go next year. I am totally, totally doing the narrative event. At like the number of people in cosplay and like having totally themed armies was so rad. I want to bring my speed freaks. I want to get an old Big Mek get up. I got to get with the guys, the Goth Rockers. These guys make amazing costumes and stuff. Maybe I got to get one from them, and then I can go to the open like actually dressed as old Big Mek, pink skin green, and all that. That'd be fun. Chris K. You said never again. You feel me, brother? You feel me? we could have a whole veteran support group like within the Big Mek family here easily. There's a bunch of us, and it's yeah. War Boss Fred, he was Navy as well. Uncle Buck trying to decide between narrative or kill team. Ooh, yeah, because the kill team tournament was ran really, really, really well. So yeah, that would be really tough to decide. I think so. Here's the thing I will say: the Kill Team tournament was all 3 days. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The narrative was 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. So if getting time off or being able to be there for the full 3 day thing is an issue, do the narrative. But if you can get there and do the whole thing, maybe do the Kill Team. Um, yeah, I don't know. That would be my personal recommendation after going last year for Tacoma Open for sure. Because yeah, there's the narrative is the only one that is only that is shortened. Everything else is the full 3 days. So if you can't commit to being there like Thursday night so that you're playing games Friday morning, then do the narrative. Or there is a nasty upper respiratory thing going on. Yeah, there is, man. I don't Nurgle is rising. That is for sure. Yeah, pneumonia too. Yeah, like I said, we've got up here where we are, we've got norovirus going around, and norovirus is like super nasty too. Then we got like bird flu things in the food, and yeah, 99 caps signing up for the Patreon. Thank you, brother, much appreciated. I'm gonna assume that you want to win the looted tank, which is really really awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So we'll have to do a whole video on converting the looted tank, painting the looted tank, getting that all ready. We'll get a squad ready. Maybe we'll do a character, and then yeah, and then like I said, the flat pack thing. I got to get a vintage codex or two and some cool posters and whatnot. Put all that together, and then win the big army as the big thing. Yeah, yeah, and War Boss Dan is 100% right. And if you cosplay, narrative is where it's at. All of the Games Workshop employees were in cosplay. 100% of them in character 100% of the time. So to have the judge come over, there was one dude to come open last year. He was a commissar, right? And these players are like, oh, I need a judge. And the judge comes over and he walks over, right? And he's got like the arm behind his back and his sword and whatnot. And he like listens to what's going on. And he's like, I summarily execute you for being a weeb or whatever. And like pretends to blast the guy away for arguing the point in the middle of a narrative thing. It was hilarious. Like if you like the cosplay, if you like the immersion like that, narrative 100%. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm 100% on it. It is awesome. Chris asked Blood Bowl anyone. So, oh man, Chris, the hard part I have about with Blood Bowl is that the models are so great for converting that every time I buy a Blood Bowl team, I end up stealing everything in it to make other things. In fact, I'm getting the Black Orc Blood Bowl team to make a 2 squads of the new Breaker Boys out of. So I can't keep a team together long enough. I did one of the Empire teams with the great big head thingies for my Imperial Guard. Stole all of those. I made a Lord Solar out of the head guy, the one that you could buy like by himself. But Blood Bowl looks like super duper fun. I always say I'm not a squad level gamer. Kill Team is really cool. The game looks like it plays really well. It's just not my jam. Like only running a squad of guys or a couple of guys just isn't my thing. If I was going to do something like that, it would either be Blood Bowl or Necromunda. I love both of those games. I love how unique they are. And I love that, like Blood Bowl, you're literally playing like a sport. So, of course, it's a team. And so it feels like, a whole army because it's a whole team. And then Necromunda, everybody, because it's like a gang, right? Like, I don't know. They feel more complete in that way. And so, yeah, I'd be super into either one of those. Bruce, oh man, no, I can't keep up. You guys are fast. Bruce, you ever plan on going to Adepticon? I'd love to. I work full time and raise 4 grots, so getting time off and money to go travel to things like that isn't a thing. But yeah, I'd love to go to Adepticon. And then yeah, Wild or Wicked 3D Joe, LVO, Las Vegas Open would be super rad. That one is also relatively close to me. Like I said, I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so like flying out of Seattle or Portland down to Vegas wouldn't be too terrible. I would love to go to LVO. Not in the cards for this year. We'll see what 2026 brings. But yeah, LVO would be super duper duper rad. Yeah, and then what was I going to say about LVO? Did you guys see online, especially he's been posting it on the 40K Orc community page on Facebook and on Discord, no, not Discord, Reddit. There's a guy that made an entire themed army that's like a grot army for LVO for like $20. Great. He has like a huge stash. Like his stash makes mine look like a wimpy, right? Huge stash of bits and parts and whatnot. But yeah, he like literally was like, I'm gonna build a whole army out of all my spare parts and bits and random junk and trash and not spend more than $20. And he did it. He got it all complete. I saw it either this morning or yesterday of his whole army ready to go for LVO, and it is sick. You should totally go look that up. That was rad. And a cap. Yes, absolutely, lunatic. You got it, man. We'll ask people, where they want their buckets dropped and all that stuff. But yeah, lunatic is 100% one of the prizes. You guys got it. You saw it live. You saw it happen right here. You made it happen. Keith, it's in New York also. Yeah, Adepticon is in New York. I got, like I said, family that's in the Maryland area. So maybe close enough to go visit something like that. I don't know, but yeah, like I said, not in the cards, not this year. This year I'll be Tacoma Open is my goal again. If they have a Tacoma Open again or Seattle Open, I want to go to that and I want to do the narrative and I want to play for 2 days. That is the goal for this year, and then we'll see what next year brings. So yeah. Chris, can't wait. Wow. Uncle Buck, love me some Blood Bowl. Oh, yeah. And then you're local too, man. So, maybe, yeah, if we can get a Blood Bowl league together, That could be a lot. I mean, would you guys watch Blood Bowl? Obviously, I'd play the orc team, but I mean, Blood Bowl could be some cool extra content. Chris never played but always wanted to. All right, good to know. Good to know. Just got a few buddies started in sevens. Okay. All right. Maybe I need to get into Blood Bowl. That could be my birthday present to myself is go buy a Blood Bowl team and then not loot it. So I'll have to buy two. One to loot and one to leave alone. Murder Mouth. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and congrats on 5K. Yeah, 5K. Can you guys believe that? Less than a year ago, we were just over 2K. So 150% increase in size in a year is insane. If we did that again, we'd be at like 12,500 this time next year. That'd be rocking. I'd be super happy with that. That's a lot of orc players. Keith got an orc mask. Originally intended to make a whole costume. Kind of needs some help in that area. Poor Hammer. I don't know if Poor Hammer does any costuming things. You could check it out, maybe. But yeah, there's a couple of channels that do cosplay stuff, but they're mostly Imperial. Like I've seen a lot of guys that 3D print, the Space Marine stuff, and also do like Sister Battle. And a lot of the human ones are a lot easier to do, right? You could do Inquisitor pretty easy. You could do Astro Meltarum pretty easy. But yeah, to do an orc, like I mean, you see it with the Goth Rockers, like first of all, you got to be huge, right? So like they got these big, bulky, like muscle suits on, right? And then their heads are gigantic, and then the eye visions are actually out of the open mouths, and that's how they kind of get it to look proportionally right. And then big old platform shoes and stuff like that. So it's hard to be an orc for cosplay. It's got to be one of the hardest, except for maybe Tyranids. Tyranids would be. I mean, you do like Gene Stealer Cult would be like easy-ish, but yeah, like imagine trying to be a lictor or something. Like, man, that'd be some crazy hard cosplay. Kelvin saw that $20 army. It was awesome. It was, man, right? I'm not joking. That was insanely good. It was so cool. Oh, Poor Hammer is the guy that builds with the trash bits and stuff. Is it? Was it really him? Because I haven't seen them talk about it on the Poor Hammer. I mean, I'm a little behind on my episodes of Poor Hammer at the moment, so maybe they've talked about it or covered it, and I haven't seen it. But yeah, that'd be cool if it was him. Yeah. So yeah, 99 the Cat. Poor Hammer is a podcast, really good podcast. Definitely something all you guys should be listening to. It's free on YouTube. And they do like really funny tier rankings and things like that. But they do some pretty serious videos on like saving money on Warhammer stuff, and they cover conversions. They cover like third party things. Like some 3D printing and STLs and things like that, but like a lot of like like how Victoria Miniatures has like the whole line of Imperial Guard stuff. They talk a lot about that kind of things, like other companies you could get stuff from. Um, but yeah, but it's like there's one main dude, and then there's a couple other guys that are kind of always on there, and then they have like rotating guests and stuff. They've had Kirioth on there a number of times. Kirioth is awesome. I love Kirioth. He's my kind of crazy. Um, Oh, not a podcast, different guy, I think. Oh, okay. Hmm. Yeah, it's the hard part with things like that is you get a nickname and it's such a good nickname. Like Poor Hammer was a pretty widely used term, or even Trash Hammer is a really widely used term. So yeah, you gotta be careful with your naming on things. But yeah, anyways, the army was really cool, and Poor Hammer the podcast is really cool. Even if they're not the same thing, you guys check both of them out. Really fun. All right. I've been yapping for almost an hour. I'm hungry. I think I'm gonna go get some squig burgers or some squig wings or whatever. Yeah, Keith, if you post in the Discord, that'd be rad. Yeah, if you guys aren't in the Discord, you should all be in the Discord. I link it on every video. Just go click on a random video and click on the Discord link. We don't paywall the Discord like all the other channels, but it's a fantastic community area. Guys are posting all day, every day, with their conversions and their paint jobs and their deals. And yeah, it is a great place to be. I feel like we've got one of the strongest Discord servers out there, even just outside of works, like just 40K period. Has been a lot of fun. Do some Kid Hammer stuff on there. Got some dad jokes. It's rad. So definitely see you guys all on there. We'll have the links to all this stuff and talk about it. It'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, thank you every single one of you for coming and hanging out with me on my birthday. Really appreciate all the love. Really appreciate being able to chat with you guys. It was a lot of fun. We got to drill some holes and talk about doing some battle damage and bullet holes. We got to do looked at the contest and what that's going to look like, and decided on doing a looted tank, which would be a whole lot of fun. Kind of got that nailed down a little bit. We looked at the new lighting situation. I mean, this is great. It's totally dark in here, and that light is kicking it. I am so happy with that. Again, that video, I will have that one up live tomorrow. It's all uploading stuff, but I mean, in between doing the live stream today and all that stuff, I don't want to crowd the day too much. So that one will be up tomorrow on doing that light. So if you guys are interested in learning more about lighting, you can check that out. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, so much. Much appreciated. All of you guys. We're going to beat Nurgle. We're going to beat Nurgle. We're going to beat everything else. And 2025 is the year of the orc, and we are all going to absolutely rock it together. Have a good night. Great stream. Happy birthday. Thank you so much, everybody. Much appreciated. Have a wonderful Friday night. Have a wonderful weekend. Until next time. Wagon!